Hi, my name is Jensen. This is RPA My Day, where I will show you how I automate my own day, my private life. I will show you my hacks in which I use in my everyday routine. I got a pre-work RPA routine in where I load some programs, do some things, and I got a post-work routine, and I got a lunch routine as well. However, we'll get back to that. Today we'll talk about Spotify and how we can automate that. First, we will make a simple Spotify solution. Just open Spotify, play a playlist or a song, and then I will show you some more advanced solutions in where we will tune it and make it more elegant. And we'll even let Spotify play different kinds of music regarding of the time of the day. So that'll be nice to see. First, we will start to really simple, but I'm strongly recommending you to follow through. And if you even got some hacks yourself that you use in your RPA private life, I would love to hear them, so share them in the comments if they're good. I might even implement them myself. I always love new ideas. So please comment if you got any ideas or if you can improve my hacks here. I will love to see them. I'm very open to new ideas. So with that said, let's get going. First, we will click activities and we will choose the open application. Here we can search for it. So this one will drag it in. Then we will indicate a window that we want to open and application. So this one will be the Spotify here. We open the application Spotify exit. Let's check the selector, click the three lines here, edit selector, just to see if something in the selector can be made better. But this one looks good. This one will open Spotify Premium. It will work on all Spotify, so it's not premium. So if you've got family, student, basic, whatever, this will work. So click OK, and now we're ready to click a playlist. So we will search for the click. We will drag that in. Then we will indicate the element. That will be, I got two playlists, I want to play one of them. So Metallica Greatest, or This Is Five Finger Death Punch. I'm actually going to a concert with the Five Finger Death Punch tonight, so I'm looking forward to that. That was just a side note, so let's choose them. And then we will look at the selector. We can see that in the selector something is not right. It can't find that element. That could be that something with the title. I'm not sure that it will search for this Spotify thing. So we could just be doing this when an asterisk. So it looks like that it takes the title, but it got some sort of an undertitle in which it cannot find. I know it sounds stupid, but now we tuned the selector a bit. So, and we can see that it became green up here. So we click OK. So this one will just open Spotify and then click this playlist. And we need to start the playlist as well. So we need to click that play. We will drag in another click here. Then we will indicate what we will click. This one will be the play. And then it should start. I cannot, unfortunately, I cannot play the music for you. It's really awesome music. But due to some copyright laws, it's illegal. So this workflow should work fine. Let's close Spotify and see if that works. I can. I'm actually there might be a little problem here. So, but we'll face that when we face the bridge. So let's close and then run this file. We will UiPath will run in a bit now, and then it will open Spotify. You will see that here. However, we can see that Spotify opens a bit slow. So what's happening is that UiPath cannot find This Is Five Finger Death Punch, and we might want to find out what that is. Usually we'll might want to introduce some delays if we can't fix the selector. It will time out here in it will time out in 30 seconds, so that might be like 50 seconds more. And we can see what's happening. So let's drag that back here. And we can see that it cannot find the play. That's because we are not even in the play section. We are still stuck in the front side. So let's try to introduce a delay. The delay is something that we'll use quite a lot when things are not working. Usually things go like the applications and UiPath robot that will go in 2 different paces, and sometimes they might not suit each other. So we'll introduce a delay. Not going to stop us. And we can see here that we need to enter a VB expression. So that's basically just the delay. Open this one. The delay is on the form hours, minutes, seconds. So this one is no delay. I think we'll introduce a 5 seconds delay, or maybe even 10 seconds, just to be sure, because sometimes it starts up. You saw that it lags a bit. That could be also depending on your computer. So this one will just make a delay in the beginning. So let's try to close it down again and run the file. UiPath starts up. Now it opens Spotify. I'm a little bit sorry about it opens up outside of the window. So now it will pause for 10 seconds, and then it should click the right selector here. Can't hear it, so it's a shame to see it's playing and can't hear it. So, and then we'll click home and go back to UiPath. So now we maybe we want to change the playlist easily, like create a more advanced workflow later that changes the playlist, and it would be a bit pain in the RRR to go in here and change the selector every time. Then we could just create a variable with the part of the selector that's changing, and then when we change the variable here, we could change it in the workflow. It will just automatically change the selector. It clicks and it will scroll through the playlist like we want. Let's see how that is done. Say that we want to go to Metallica now, then, or we create the example Metallica, then click indicate on screen. This one is Metallica, and then we'll create a variable which takes on the name Metallica. So let's see how that is done. str playlist we could call it, and the value should be the value of the selector we want here. So click edit selector up here. You can see again that it cannot find it when we add this subtitle here. So let's delete that and replace it with an asterisk. We see that it works now. So this is the part that changes on the selector. So let's copy that and click OK. Then here we'll just put in the value. However, so when we want to change, let's say that we got a lot of playlists, some name rock or training or your name, whatever. Then we will just change the value of the variable here. Now we just hard coded it in, but it could be something that changed dynamically up in the workflow. So now we just need to change the selector. So go in here, you cannot go up here, so go here and then click. I know it's a little bit annoying, so click here, then find where Metallica greatest is here, and you'll need to have the single quotation mark still. Then we'll delete this one, Metallica. Now we only got single quotation marks. So put out a double quotation mark, space, then a plus, and then we'll put in the variable that we created with the str playlist. It's here, like this. Then the plus more, and then a double quotation mark, like this. So now what this does, it opens up Spotify, and then it will click dynamically on a playlist with the name we specified here. So, and then we'll click play. So let's see how that works. close down Spotify again. We could make, I have had that in my actual workflow, like if Spotify is open when my computer starts, it's rarely, then it will just close down Spotify. And however, I think you are quite good at UiPath, your viewers, so you can look at that. So now you'll see that it worked. It opened up Spotify and it clicked Metallica. However, we got it couldn't find that play. That we could see that it was a bit slow to load again. So we'll fix this with just a delay. We saw that it worked, but sometimes it just more slower. So we can make a 5 seconds delay here. I think that should work like this. That should work. Let's close down Spotify again, and then we'll see that if a delay has fixed our problems. Otherwise we have to make longer delays. However, I don't think it's necessary. Now it will wait 10 seconds before it loads. I don't know why Spotify should take those many computer resources. If you got a solution for that, then you're welcome, very welcome. Hi, this is Anders. This is recorded after the video. I accidentally started the playlist with the sound on, so it played Metallica 1. It's an awesome song, I really like it, but however, I don't got any rights to it, so to be sure, I edited out the sound and recorded this. What I said was just that now we created a nice dynamic selector, so we can play any playlist we want, and if you got any suggestions you can just write me directly or leave a comment. So that's it. Let's head back to the video. Prepares it for our work day. So say that when I get to the office, I don't want to have Spotify open and play Metallica or some metal, and then the whole office will just cry out because of they don't like my music taste. So if my computer is not mute, then we could make a workflow that mutes the computer before it starts the music. So that will be like before here we will just make a mute sequence, a small sequence. So how do we do that? Well, I'm sorry that you cannot see my desktop here. It's a little bit annoying that I cannot move this one right now, and I think it will be too complicated. So what we'll do is that we'll just you'll see me creating the workflow, and I'll just tell you what I do here outside of the window. It's not that much. So first we want to find out if our computer has is muted right now. So how do we do that? We'll find an element exist, and let me find that one here, drag it up here. Then we will indicate the mute button. Like right now the mute button is pressed down. You can see here the mute button is pressed down now. So we want to find out if this one exists, then my computer is mute, everything is fine. Otherwise we want to click on it. So and then we will make an output. This one asks, does this element exist? And then it will return a true or false value, a so-called boolean. So we will, in the output here, we will create a boolean called bool mute. This one, if this is true, then my computer is muted, and false. And if this is false, my computer is not muted. So then we'll make an if, and we will drag it in here. So this one will just say if bool mute is true, then we'll do something. Otherwise, we will do something. We can for more convenient looking, we can easily just add the true here. But this one will go here if it's true, and false if it goes false. Then it goes over here. So true, then we don't need to do anything. However, if it's false, that means that it's not, then it will not be muted, then we'll need to do something. Then we will right click on the volume button here, just in my tray, and then we will click mute. So let me get another click in here. We will drag the click in the else, and then I will just indicate the, hold on. We will, so if it's not mute, then we will have to right click on this element over here. So this one will be indicate on screen, then we will, now I just left click it. However, we can easily change it up here, button left, button right. So now we right click on this thing. We can even check the selector to see. So now it says that my volume is on 42%. That is not necessarily good, because if this one sees, if my computer is one day at 50, then it will not click on this because it cannot find it. So we'll again make an asterisk like this. Okay. So now it will right click here down, and then, which you can see, we just need to open the volume mixer. So again, we'll make a click here, and we'll indicate that, and we'll have to do with delay because it's a pop-up. So now I choose the volume mixer. You can see it yourself. And so when we click that one, let me do that here. Now I can drag things in. No, I cannot. Yes, I can. So here we just wanna mute this one. However, it's not. It's if I'm muting this one, then it mutes the whole system. It mutes even what comes out of this recorder. It shouldn't be a problem. So we will make another click, and this one will have just to click here. We can then we might have a problem, like say that these ones were even selectors, then we could have a problem in which it clicked. But I think it had the mute speaker HP, the title, and I think this control ID refers to this specific muting. So now what this does, it asks us if this one is true, then we will if it's true, then we'll do nothing. However, if the sound is open, then we'll open the volume mixer and click mute. So let me, we could have a, so now this one, and then this, and then we could have a click one that closes this one down, so we don't have to look at it in the tray. So click, and then we'll just, we cannot do that. So then we could close down the application, or we could, I think we can just click, let me check that, we can just right click again, or we'll just leave it as it is for now, and because you cannot see anything, so it's a bit annoying for you to see what's going on, but you can just close this element down. So now we created a volume changer. And so lastly, we can see that this even works. So let me, now I have the speaker on, but you can't see that. You cannot see that works because it's outside the window. So I'll just leave it to that. I hope you trust me. Otherwise, try it yourself and see that it works. So let's say that we wanna this playlist. We wanna have it changed by the time of the day. So say that in the morning we want to hear something, in the afternoon something, and in the night something. So let us think of this one could be my, let's find some classical for the night. Classical essentials. Let us click on that, and then we will just save it to our library. So now it's over here. We can see that it's here, and then we want to. That's probably fine. We don't need more, but you could add more. So now we want to make a we want to make it so that the playlist will change regarding the time of the day. So what we'll need to do here is quite simple. So then we will just make a an if. Then we will drag that in here. So say that we want to, from 6 in the morning to 6 in the night, we want to hear Metallica, and from 6 in the night to 6 in the morning, we want to hear classical essentials. So what do we do here? First, we will need to just delete this coded thing, but we might leave it here just so we can copy it in, but we need to delete the value. So we'll make an if, and what is the if what's the condition going to be? Well, we need some kind of a system condition time, system date time, and we make the condition on what time it is now. So now, and then to short time string. This one will bring up a time string that looks like, let me write it like this. And this one should be like, say that the time is greater than 6 o'clock, like this, and less than 6 o'clock in the night. So we'll just make an and then we'll make a, oh, we need quotation marks. Sorry, and then we'll make an and then we'll just system. This one is a good training for writing out time. I think you should, if you don't know how the .NET time thing works, I think you should really, it will really benefit you to know what you're doing here. So if this one is greater than 6 o'clock, I think it's greater than, let's make it 5:59. So this one is not included, and just greater than 1800. Oh, let me make that one in here. Then we will play something, and otherwise we will do something. So what can we do here? It's quite easy to see if you know it. Sorry, we'll make two assigns, and then we'll just assign one value here to the that's greater than 6 in the morning and less than 6 in the night, and otherwise we will go over here. So we got two assigns now. So this one we want to play Metallica in the day, so we'll just cut this one out, and then we will in the day, that's here. So this one we will just assign the value we found before, like this, and now we got double quotation marks, sorry, here. So now we assigned the value Metallica greatest hits here when it's in the day, and then we need classical music in the night. However, I don't know what this selector looks like, so we'll just make a click, like a temporary click, just a temporary, delete this afterwards, then we'll click the classic essentials. It's just to see how the selector looks, so we can see what we wanted. It's good, classic essentials. However, we thought that something in the end can come, so we'll just add an asterisk like this. Delete this one again, we don't need it. And then we will, over here, if we're in the night, we will play classical music. So now Metallica greatest or classical essentials, and we have the breaks, and we could rename all these things. I think you should actually do so. Let's just this one, just open application. We don't need to, we just open application Spotify. So if anything goes wrong, it's not that important here, but if anything goes wrong, then we can easily see it in the log files what's happening. So on this one we'll just click play in playlist. So now this one should work. I think I'll just leave out the this mute thing. I should have made a sequence, because then we could easily. So I'll just right click and then rule it out, because you cannot see that it changes. So it's really not worth it for you. So now we'll just start by opening up Spotify, and then we will click on a playlist. So right now it's in the middle of the day, so it will click here, otherwise it will click here. We could easily just, if you want to see that it works, then we could try Metallica first and then classical, and then change them, see how that works. So let's close this one down. Let's run the file. Again, I'm sorry that it jumps out of the window. I'm not sure if we can solve this. That must be a Windows thing. I'm not an expert in Windows, so if any of you got a, oh, I need to click mute because otherwise we will I'll stop this again. Otherwise we'll have some copyright problems. YouTube will take it down. So it was unmuted now, and we didn't have our sequence open. We could have had that open. So now we will just stop and run it again. I'm sorry about that, but we won't. We don't want to get into any trouble with YouTube. So now it opens. We have this 10-second delay. Then we should click on Metallica, and after that we will try, now we'll wait 5 seconds, then it will click play. We can see that it's, yeah, and that works. So Metallica works, that's fine. Let's see if classical works too. Then we just need to change the position of these two. So now, I'm not sure why it always creates these sequences. I hate sequences. So now it will play classical in the day and Metallica in the night. That could also be a solution. So let's try to move this a little bit around and run the file. Now hopefully it will click the classical essentials, and then we are done with this assignment, and we saw how we could use Spotify, and how we can use UiPath with Spotify to automate our daily life. I will, now it's opening, hopefully it'll be in the 10 seconds. It clicks classical essentials, and it should click play in less than, yeah, now it worked. Now we can hear classical music. However, I think I will prefer to hear metal in the day and then classic essentials in the night. But you can do as you want. So just to fix this. So what I was about to say is that this one shows how we can automate our day, how we can make things easier for ourselves. And I'll post a lot of videos with how I automate my own day, private life especially, but also work life. And you can subscribe if you enjoyed this video. And I would really like some comments from you if you think this one could have been done better, or even if you have some other automations from your life that we can work on. I would love to present them if you got any good ideas. So that's it for now. Have a good day. Bye bye.